Welcome to the Nerds Against Normality podcast. I'm Stacey Bowles, and I was born in the 1980s, a simpler time when a gilet was confused as a life preserver. Much like Marty McFly, he cranks his new sound system up to full volume, which went down really well with the neighbours. I'm here with Harry Bowles.
Good afternoon.
And he set his time machine to arrive 10 minutes before this podcast recording, but somehow still managed to turn up late. It's Ben Sheridan.
Ridiculous. Wasn't even told about this one.
So this week we're going to say hi to some new listeners, chaps. We've got a new listener in Norway. Hello.
Hello.
That's how you say hello.
Okay, good. A new listener from Singapore.
Okay. Selamat Pagi.
Very good.
Probably. Let me know if that's any good.
Yeah.
I didn't know you were so linguistical.
So versed in Google.
Yeah.
He's got an international business, selling games, selling and importing / smuggling them across borders.
Apparently so.
He knows everything.
And we're saying bonjour, salut to our new French listeners.
Monge too. So, before we get into the review of Back to the Future, we're just going to go through some questions for Stacey's birthday. She's 55 today. She's looking great.
And you don't look a day over 61.
Thanks,
honestly,
guys.
So good.
I feel
shriveled
loved.
and dried up. That's how I would describe it.
I knew you as a young, spry woman, and now you're a haggard maid.
Oh, goodness. Like a peanut.
Yes.
Because we're all very allergic to you.
So, we've obviously put the TikTok out there and the Facebook posts about asking you some questions, and we had some responses. Tony from Dartford. So, what is your favourite Red Dwarf character?
Hi, Tony. My favourite Red Dwarf character. Oh, it's hard to pick one, isn't it? But I must, because that's the point of the question.
That is kind of the question. You can't just refuse to answer the question.
I think I would have to go for Rimmer because
You are a Rimmer.
Because I am Rimmer. I've got my BSc, my SSc, and my GSc. If you're a fan of the show, you'll know what that means.
No.
My bronze swimming certificate, my silver swimming certificate, and my gold swimming certificate.
You're just a job's worth.
Oh, great, thank
An
you.
overachiever.
And my nostrils are huge.
Sort of person like, oh, sorry guys, we're going to have to do a bloody exam today. We're going to have to go through all the modules at work. You're like, yeah! I can skip lunch for this.
Overtime, unpaid.
Sign me up. I already have.
I just think he's really, really funny, and I love Chris Barry, the actor who plays him, because I think his like physical mannerisms are really hysterical, and I think the show wasn't quite the same without him around. So,
Fair enough.
Would you say it's a cult classic, Red Dwarf, or do you think
100%.
or is it more of a mainstream thing?
I would say cult classic.
Yeah?
Particularly now, because I think it's a little bit older. And
To be fair, it's only had 13 seasons.
This is what I'm thinking. Like, if you've got,
It's got a real small following.
if you've got 13 seasons or something, are you considered a cult classic?
Well, how do you define cult?
I don't know. Small.
Well, I've signed up for a few, so...
And he started 3 of them.
Because, I mean, like, cult things often do have big followings.
Yeah, I don't know. I suppose it had a small following at the time, but it's sort of grown. Because it had a reboot as well, didn't it? Not a reboot. It had a sequel like years and years later.
It did.
And another one that's coming out this year, I believe.
Is that?
Yeah.
Oh.
It's a 3-parter. It's a movie that's been split up into 3 episodes.
Oh, okay, that's cool.
That's fair
You'd
enough.
think as a fan you'd know that.
I didn't. I had no idea. But
I'll
as
do
you
my
say,
research.
I am a huge
Carry on
Red
this
Dwarf fan.
podcast. So what are you saying?
Well, if I'm not in it, the views go up, so it's probably best you are.
Nathan, are you coming back?
You reviewed Nosferatu again with him and the views skyrocket.
We've somehow made the charts.
I told you, it's the most downloaded podcast episode in history.
We got invited to the Oscars.
We beat Rogan. It's happening.
So the second question, knowing you, it's a very easy one to answer. What is your favourite Star Trek series and why?
Oh,
Why is it next gen?
Why is it a why? What would you say for my why?
Well, it's next gen.
Yeah, it's
And
completely
because-
next gen.
Then
Because of the captain.
Yeah.
just because of the captain.
Oh, and the adventures they go on. It's very whimsical.
I feel like you're a Deep Space
Those
Nine.
guys.
I feel like you're a Deep Space Nine fan as well. I think you like Deep Space
No.
Nine. Do you not like Deep Space Nine?
Never got into Deep Space Nine, no.
Fair enough.
All about Next Gen. Yeah, Next Gen is the pinnacle of Star Trek.
It is the pinnacle.
But I mean, Patrick Stewart is a huge part of that because he's, a very amazing actor. But I think it explored loads of kind of existential themes that I really like.
Space.
Like learning to play the flute.
Yeah, exactly.
So much space.
And it was all really full circle as well, because in the very first episode, Q comes, the big kind of godlike being Q visits them on the ship, and he tells them that they're going to go on a trial, and then he turns up at the very end episode, comes back to say, well, you've had your trial now. And it's been the entire show, so it's really well-rounded. You've also got the best Star Trek villain of all time, which is...
The Man. No, the Borg.
The
Borg,
executive producers. Society at large.
But my favourite character is probably Data, actually, because
he's also a Jobsworth. I am noticing a theme.
Because I am an android and I have no feelings.
I was about to say there's a theme coming in. Okay.
Yeah, because he wants to be human, and you get to explore humanity through his eyes, which is really sweet.
But chuck water on him and he's done.
I mean, I assume he's waterproof.
I'm just going to take a shower.
Although...
Lights go out on G-Tank.
Reroute power.
Shields up! Why?
Us and
they're already down to 10%.
Yeah, the worst shields ever in Star Trek are the ones from Next Generation. Because you can each knock the wall and they've gone down to 10%.
Yeah, but I mean, Data is definitely waterproof because us androids are very wipeable.
Oh.
You wet wipe. Nice little reference to another episode. Okay. So next up we had Mr. Duckworth. Now, he always comes up with some interesting questions. So I don't want to call you basic, Tony, but they were quite basic.
Oh, thanks, Tony.
Settle in for the essay.
No, it's not that bad.
Okay.
So this one, if you could go back in time, which serial killer do you think you'd have the best chance of changing through love and affection?
Oh my God. That's an amazing question because clearly...
I have so many.
I love serial killers. I mean, I don't think you could change them. That's the kind of the nature of them, isn't it?
Well, that's the fun answer we was looking for in the podcast.
Well, I don't think...
Which serial killer did you change your mind, and why was it John Venables?
I don't think I'd want to try and change any of them.
You want these people to... You are pro-murder.
I don't want to go and spend time with a serial killer.
She's never had an iPhone.
I want to spend time with a serial killer. They're, murdery.
Jack the Ripper.
I probably would say Jack the Ripper purely because I just want to know who he is. Probably can't change him, but at least we could have a cup of tea. I imagine that's what he liked to do.
Do you think he finishes his murdering and he's like, oh, I fucking need a brew?
Absolutely.
Yeah,
I've got no sugar. I'm going to have to go and murder next door now.
Just East End of London's like, what have I got to look forward to? A cup of tea and a pie and eel pie and mash.
Yeah.
God, the world's terrible.
I mean, I just don't think you could go and spend time with a serial killer without just being like, no, put that knife down.
The world's changing, Jack. You can't just keep murdering people. There are some buildings out here that are at least half a bumming tall now.
Which is a reference to our previous episode.
And he's like, what's that? He's like, you'll figure that out.
You'll figure that out on episode 34.
It's me there.
Okay. As a reader, do you have any pet peeves that pull you out of a story more than they typically would for other people? I'd say pop-up books.
Yeah, because Harry only reads pop-up books.
The Alan Shearer autobiography in pop-up form.
It's got all of his best goals. Scratch and sniff his shorts. It's got it all. Oh, it's terrible. Yeah, so what pulls you out? What makes you think, what a crock of shit?
Two things spring to mind. I really struggle to read thriller books ever since The Girl on the Train, because they all try and emulate that same writing style where you're doing different point of views and it comes together and you can guess in the first 2 chapters who the murderer is going to be.
I saw the film version of that. Oh, God, it's depressing.
Yeah, it is a good book.
Okay, I should read the book.
To be fair.
It's a very depressing
Can you imagine it in England? bloody late in it.
A second ahead of me then. That joke. I set that whole thing up to do that joke. I was like, just get to South Eastern somehow. Stacey's got to be going back into work for overtime, unpaid again.
Yay!
Sorry guys, I bought pizza. It's vegetarian. Right.
Oh god. It's got vegan cheese.
Great.
I'm taking a long, hard look at myself for this episode. And the second thing I'd say, and Mr. Duckworth is not going to be pleased when I say this because it's going to be a very unpopular opinion, but I really struggle with fantasy books where they're over-descriptive.
I'm like that.
Yeah, because...
Sort of like a Lord of the Rings sort of thing, or...
Yeah, basically like a huge world-building kind of book. So like I tried to read The Hobbit and it was too much for me. It was really difficult.
Those are the one books I can tolerate it with.
Is that because you've seen the films and you can associate the names and places?
Yeah, and also the names are like a little bit easier to remember. Yeah. Like they are just easier names to remember.
All right. This one's worded quite awkwardly, but here we go. And I'd say it's quite similar to another question we've had.
Who's this from?
This is from Nathan.
Oh, a previous guest episode.
Elite podcaster,
it
turns out.
Hi again, Nate.
Stacey, if you were stranded on a beat-up old mining ship, 3 million into deep space, I'm going to say 3 million,
3 million years, yeah.
3 million light years.
Like Red Dwarf.
Into deep space.
3 million millimetres into deep space.
48 feet.
Half the ship's in, half the ship's out. Oh, we're stranded.
And was the last remaining human alive. And your crewmates were a hologram, a service mech, a cat/dog, and a computer navigating the ship whose face resembles a middle-aged male or female, and not forgetting a love interest that frequently rejects you and pushes you away. Who would portray each of these characters on your ever-long quest into deep space?
Well, I would be Rimmer, as we've established, because...
Would you have an S on your head?
I'm not the hologram. Rimmer doesn't have to be a hologram.
What? Oh, okay.
But he doesn't have... He could be alive. In some episodes, he was alive.
Oh, that's true, yeah. Oh, and they give him a hard crystal at one point, don't they?
Oh, yeah. You just still have the S on your forehead, though.
No, this is my ship.
Okay.
All right, we're giving you ideas here.
Goodness.
Calm down, Rimmer.
Nay. Well, you clearly have to be my love interest. That
I thought you were going to say
constantly,
bloody list. Constantly like a fucking slob.
Well, you do bite your toenails. Let's be honest.
I can't bend my leg that high.
You've seen him. I've been to the gym with him. He can barely move.
It's a miracle I've sat down
I had to
here.
literally carry Saving Private Ryan at the beach afterwards. I had to have him over my shoulder.
No.
Yeah, and also before recording this podcast, you did the most humongous fart.
Right, is this an attack on me, Rimmer?
Just saying.
Or are we going to answer the question?
Yeah.
So you be my list of love interest.
Oh, we're going to turn it that way?
Yeah.
We can change the dynamic a little bit.
Yeah.
It's fan fiction.
Quite clearly, Ben would have to be our hologram on board. Because he doesn't always turn up, but when he's here...
I've got other traits. My trait in this scenario can't be he never turns up. This can't be the trait.
We call him Southeastern.
I'll take the hologram. I'm assuming Tifa would be cat/dog.
Yeah, we've got to bring Tifa on board.
Who would you meld her personality with as a human? So it'd be like Tifa mixed in with a human character.
Nathan can come as our pet dog.
To be fair, his name is Nate Dog.
There you go.
There's an image in my head. Oh, I don't want to hear.
He loves shitting places that he's not supposed
He does
to.
do that as well.
There you go.
And then you've got who's Crichton? Who's your android?
It would have to be my sister April, probably, because she does a lot for me.
As the android.
Yeah.
So April would be on the ship.
Yeah.
Okay,
Ben's back in.
I'm happy to be there then.
But we'd turn you off. Next,
And who would be Holly?
I would have to pick our editor Mitch as Holly.
Yeah?
Yeah.
To guide us through the black hole of podcasting.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. I like the way you spun that.
Arguably the most valuable member of the
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so the next one's not quite like that. Stacey, what film plot would you like to become everyday reality? Everyone you know and everything you've done up to this point remains the same and is part of this new reality. So basically, what sort of film world would you like to be in?
Who's that from?
Nathan.
That's a good question, Nathan.
No wonder you're such a success.
I was hoping we'd leave it.
Harry Potter would be my choice.
Which Harry Potter though? No. I'm not talking about like a reboot. I'm talking about like which book, or just the whole thing.
I guess just the whole thing.
Because at some point it goes a bit dark.
It does go a bit dark. I'd go pre-Voldemort's body era.
When he's slapped on the back of a head.
Yeah.
Like a bumper car sticker.
He's easier to manage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I can do it, yeah. All right, so like you want sort of cutesy Christopher Columbus.
Yeah.
Very saturated.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like I would be Hermione Granger.
Absolutely.
Even though your name's Harry, I feel like you would be Ron Weasley. And you are a bit ginger, let's be honest.
Not that ginger.
And Ben's got the glasses, so, you know. Yeah, and he looks like Daniel Radcliffe, so there you go.
So you'd be the one who dies at the beginning.
That's all right. So next up is one of your friends. It's Victoria. Hi, Vic. So, who would play you in the movie of your life?
Who would play me? It'd have to be Melissa Rauch.
Yeah?
Who is that, I hear you ask?
Nope, no one was asking. Moving on.
All right, fair enough.
Actually, Vic was asking.
Oh, sorry.
She plays Bernadette in The Big Bang Theory, and I have been compared to her ever since the show's come out. I've never seen the show.
Okay.
Because it's shit.
Yeah.
I had the exact same frames of glasses, but I had to change them so I wasn't constantly recognised on the streets.
Who would you like to play you? Because that's like, I'd say that because she's blonde and you're blonde and like similar hand stuff, but is there anyone you'd like? If Anna Kendrick came up and said, I want to play you,
yes,
Stacey.
please.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, I'd say Anna Kendrick. Well, I think most girls my age can relate with Anna Kendrick. Like,
Liam
so
Neeson.
she's...
Adam.
You are uncanny. Adam Sandler is Stacey Bowles.
Adrian Brody collects his third Oscar for portraying Stacey in The Android.
Just don't go to Italy.
No, Adrian!
Okay, that's good. And the second one, which film role would you most like to play?
You wouldn't want to portray Ellen Ripley.
No.
Really?
What about Sarah Connor after the pull-ups?
Well, yeah, there would have to be a lot of work that goes into that.
You'd be paid to get to that point.
That would still be really hard.
Okay.
I'm not sure.
If it's not data entry, I don't want to know.
Oh yeah, and as we know, there's a lot of thrilling films about data entry.
Starting with...
If these fingers could flex. Love you.
Love you.
You could portray Emily Blunt from The Girl on the Train.
I do get the train a lot.
That's okay. I don't think that's why she got the role.
Prerequisite. Well, I've never actually got the train. Go.
Get out.
Get out.
Get out, Miss Theron.
Take at least 5 trains.
and you come back to me.
Okay, and now Rob has got the best question.
Go on, Rob.
Previous guest, Vic and Rob.
Vic and Rob both wanted a question. It's not so much of a question, but he requires you to slap us with your best Waluigi.
Amazing. Wow.
Fucking terrible.
We asked for Waluigi, not Toad.
Luigi. I don't know what came out. Can we start again? Wow. I can't.
Use your Jewish heritage.
What? I can't.
Why are you turning into like an
What?
It's like a really tame version of The Grudge.
Go for it. Come on. Go for it.
Go on.
I just did.
We'll look away.
Well, thank
you. Luigi.
All right. Passable. But like a 4 out of 10 possible.
We'll work on that.
Sorry, Rob. I need more practice.
It's a D+.
I've got a really annoying voice.
That's why I asked you to do it. Okay. So we've got 2 voice notes to come up. So the next one is from our youngest listener, all the way from Australia. I'm not sure he should be listening to the podcast, but there we go.
Hi, Auntie Stacey. If you were a cat, what would you think about pizza?
If I was a cat?
If you was a cat, what would you think about pizza?
It's a question as old as time, really.
How did they build the pyramids? How did Stonehenge happen? What do cats think
What
about
do cats think about pizza? Well, Oscar, I think it's incredible. If I was a cat, I would really love an anchovy pizza, I'm imagining. I'm not a vegetarian cat. What would I think about it?
Like,
I would
why
think,
is it round? And how do you divide it? Why is it divided? And why does it give Harry IBS? Like, these are the questions.
Why is it so beige?
So is that your answer?
Yeah. I think it was beige. I think it was really tasty if it was an anchovy pizza.
Nice. That's a good question, Oscar. That might be our best question.
And then Katinka has actually given you a little question herself.
Hi, Aunt Stacey. If you were a pizza, what would you think about cats?
I think, oh my God.
Happy birthday, Possum. My question is, did we ever finalise which Sex and the City characters we are?
Which one out of the Sex... If I was one of them, which one of the Sex and the City characters is a top shagger?
Samantha's top shagger.
I'm Samantha.
You 100% are Samantha. Katinka, you're going to be really disappointed with me, but I've never actually seen an episode of Sex and the City.
You've never seen an episode of Sex and the City?
Harry, on the other hand...
I've seen almost all of them.
Harry bloody loves it.
I don't love it.
Yes,
I loved it.
So who would be whom?
That's a good question.
I've got the characters.
Oh, yes, please.
So you've got Carrie Bradshaw.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You got Charlotte York.
Mm-hmm.
She's the brunette.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
You've got there's the redhead Miranda, and then you got top shagger Samantha.
Mm-hmm.
I think Stacey's Miranda.
Why?
Just got the vibe.
What's the vibe?
Android.
Does she
Most
also,
likely to be portrayed by Adrian Brody in a film.
does she also enjoy paperwork?
She's a career-minded lawyer with cynical views.
Nailed it.
Who's got main character energy? That's what people say nowadays.
Main character energy.
Carrie Bradshaw.
Yeah, who's got Carrie energy?
God.
I feel like Harry needs to be Carrie, and Chris, Katinka's husband, is your Mr. Big.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
It's adequate.
Gets the job done. No complaints.
Moving on.
All right.
Next up, we've got Daniel Moore, and he will be coming up in the podcast soon.
All right. Hi, folks. So I have a question for you. Considering, obviously, you're getting older, congratulations. Is there a film, TV show or game that you loved as a kid and then have come back to as an adult and realise it's trash, but not trash in a fun way, like just trash in a this is just unplayable way?
For the listeners, Dan is 100. Oh my God.
So Dan is
For the listeners,
suffering there.
Dan is 100 years old.
Oh, what have you done? Oh my God. It's just like, oh, right, okay. I've been sprung on him.
So a TV show or game?
Do you know what? The question was so long, I can't even... And I fear that if we listen to it again, we might run out of disk space.
Okay.
And why is it Angel of Darkness?
Never would I say Angel of Darkness. That's a great game.
Was it Enter the Matrix?
Yeah, that's a really good shout because we played that recently and it was much more jankier than I appreciated at the time.
I need to leave that game in the past because I've got very fond memories of that game.
Yeah. It's not unplayable, but like also at the time I remember it being so swift and like cutting edge and there were loads of details in it and turns out it's the complete opposite of those things, quite sparse.
Is there a TV show that you've gone back to? I don't imagine you go back to many TV shows.
I can't think of one. I think because all the ones we've gone back to turn out to be even better this time round. So like Malcolm in the Middle, absolute classic when I was younger and even better today. I don't know, I can't think of one.
Okay, and then lastly, we've got a couple of questions from your sister. She's going to love this being played.
Hello, dearest sister. This is your favourite, coolest, youngest sister here, Bob.
Agreed.
And I have a special birthday pod episode question for you. I actually have two. So the first one is, out of all of the games that we used to play as children on the PC or on a console, what are your top three and why?
Okay, I think this one's pretty easy.
Sims 1.
Yeah.
Sims 2.
Sims 3.
Sims in the City.
Yeah.
So they're games that I'm assuming we both played together, me and her. So Tomb Raider won't be featuring because she wouldn't play that.
Okay.
So the first one is going to be Doom.
You played Doom together?
So we had Doom on PC, but because my dad is really technical, he managed to get almost like an emulator where you could go into worlds that have been built by other people and go and explore them and stuff. And you could play co-op in a way. So you wouldn't be fighting any monsters or anything like that. You would just try and kill each other. So we would do that, trying to kill each other over and over and over.
So you basically you played on modded.
Yeah, basically. Yeah.
That's cool.
That was really, really fun. The second one would be Simpsons Road Rage on PlayStation 2.
Road Rage is like Crazy Taxi.
Yes,
version.
okay, yeah.
Where, again, you would compete with each other to pick up people in your non-Crazy Taxi for money, and then whoever got the most at the end would win. But we played it so much, and April, if you remember, I was extremely unbeatable. Because you'd memorise the map, so you knew where all the shortcuts were, and she didn't play as much as I did. And thirdly, and we're still trying to get a copy of this game, Harry, it was SpongeBob Lights, Camera, Pants.
I get weekly updates.
Still trying to get the game.
Yeah.
Is it a rare game?
It just hasn't been...
It's not rare, but it's like a 50 quidder.
Really?
Yeah, it hasn't been made or re-released on a.
It's not getting a remaster anytime soon.
No, but
it's not even on the PlayStation Store where they have
really?
the games.
Just completely
all the
delisted.
others,
except that one.
Yeah.
Blimey.
And this again was another battle against each other, and you would do things like whoever could make the most burgers or.
I didn't know it was competitive like that.
Yeah, so it was really fun. So there's my 3.
Nice. And then the last question, and I've said this 4 times, but this is actually the last question.
And my second question for you, and all of the Potterheads out there, is which of the following characters would you save from death? And the options are Albus Dumbledore, Severus Snape, Sirius Black, James Potter, Lily Potter, Remus Lupin, or Dobby the House Elf. Looking forward to hearing your answers to both questions. And in the meantime, don't let the muggles get you down.
Can I only save one?
You can only save one.
Oh my!
I don't think I'd save. I don't think I'd save any of them.
It's Dobby because I want a slave.
I would be watching my clothes like a hawk if he was around.
I've never owned socks.
No, never.
Wouldn't give the little prick a chance to run away.
What's this receipt from the London Sock Company? Whose is this?
It's a really hard question because I think for the feels, I would really want to save Sirius Black.
That was my fault. I thought you'd go serious.
To pick one parent, I think, is quite harsh. But Sirius Black was the parent he never had. And his death was so... It was empty because he just fell through It was like a doorway with a flappy cloth.
Oh, because he thinks he sees him in a mirror shard or something, doesn't he?
Yes. But because you never got to see his body or anything like that, he had no way to kind of mourn him. So I think probably for the feels I'd pick Sirius Black.
Well, that's all the questions we've had. Unless you've got some, Benji.
I've only got some quick fire this or that, so if you're willing to play.
Yeah.
Nice. So I've got, this is from teambuilding.com, a site I'm sure you use a lot. So this is just very quick, this or that. It says this or that questions for adults.
Okay.
Vacation or staycation?
Staycation.
Netflix or Hulu?
Netflix.
Cool, don't know what Hulu is. Night or morning? Could you say morning or night?
Night.
Rich and famous or rich and unknown?
Rich and unknown.
Cool. Passenger or driver? Passenger.
Passenger.
I'm going to ask that for you. Art museum or history museum?
History museum.
Car or bike?
Car.
Train or aeroplane?
Train.
Coffee or tea?
Coffee.
Be embarrassed or be afraid?
Afraid.
City or countryside?
Countryside.
Okay. Wine or beer?
Wine.
Play or a stand-up show?
Oh, play.
Ambition or comfort?
Ambition.
Fiction or non-fiction?
Fiction.
Board games or video games?
Video games.
Photos or videos?
Videos.
Shopping online or shopping in store?
Online. I hate people.
That's fair enough. Welcome to our podcast. Books or films?
Oh!
Gotta be quick.
Films.
Okay. Roller coasters or water slides?
Water slides.
And last one, day or night?
Day.
Cool. Let's just calculate
Oh,
what
I
all
feel
that...
stressed.
Let's calculate what all that means.
And do I need to do one of those authorization things to check I'm not an android, like click on the traffic lights?
Is this part of the traffic lights? Happy birthday as well, Stace.
Thank you very much. So let's get on with the film review.
On the review.
This week we'll be reviewing Back to the Future because it is my favourite film. I'm going to guess that you all know exactly what Back to the Future is, but just in case you don't, I've got a very quick synopsis for you. Marty McFly, a 17-year-old high school student, is accidentally sent 30 years into the past in a time-travelling DeLorean invented by his close friend, the maverick scientist Doc Brown. This film was written by Robert Zemeckis and Bob Gale, and it was directed by Robert Zemeckis. It stars Michael J. Fox,
Not Jamie Foxx. That was the spin-off.
Christopher Lloyd, and Leah Thompson. I feel the need to explain that the other day Harry and I were playing a quiz game, and one of the quiz questions was who starred in Family Ties, and it had Michael J. Fox, Jamie Foxx and some others, and my brain thought it's Michael J. Fox and my mouth said it's Jamie Foxx, and now that's a thing.
Okay.
Harry won't let that go.
No.
So the soundtrack was by Alan Silvestri, who wrote the theme that we all know and love.
He did Avengers Endgame and Infinity War.
Oh, there you go.
Kind of a big deal.
But this film also features amazing other songs like The Power of Love, Johnny Be Good, and so on and so forth. On a budget of, what are we saying?
Is this before or after the fall of the Berlin Wall?
It was 1985.
Before.
It was after, wasn't it?
Before.
It was before the fall of the Berlin Wall?
Yeah.
Really?
Because the Berlin Wall fell on my year of birth, 1989.
Really? Good Lord,
Yes.
you're old. 30 million.
I'm going to go lower than that. I'm going to go 15.
On a budget of $19 million.
Fucking point.
And what was the box office worldwide takings?
From 19 million? Oh, I bet this made something like... You know, like you got
180.
140.
388,862,000.
That was a lot of money in those days.
It was.
That'll barely get you a meal deal now.
They bought the Berlin Wall and kicked it down.
That's when you know you got fuck you money.
Yeah.
I'm going to buy the wall. Sledgehammer, sir? No, a good boot. This is what you're explaining to the people on the other side as you're kicking it down.
Nothing to be alarmed about. Just using Back to the Future money to take down your wall.
Absolutely. And they're like, oh, Jamie Foxx? Like, no, Michael J. Fox.
Jamie Lee Fox?
No.
Okay, let's get into it. So we start off in the 1980s and we get introduced to Marty McFly and his huge ampness.
Huge ampness.
We
get introduced to Marty McFly, a 30-year-old man posing as a 17-year-old boy.
My jaw dropped when you said he was 17. I was like, in what world is he 17?
I was going to do a whole joke about, like, maybe he shouldn't be why is this old man hanging out with this 17-year-old boy? But now it seems to be absolutely fine.
Yeah, well, they're the same age. And you get to see his family, his dad, his brother, sister, and his mum, and of course, Doc Brown as well. Oh, and Biff. So what did you think of the characters? Like, are there any that were you particularly fond of? Did they stick out in your mind?
Biff just looks like Rob Beckett had a bad day.
Oh my God, he does!
He does.
He does.
Like,
American.
As soon as I saw it, I just couldn't. Obviously, the family's a bit wet. Is the best way to describe them.
Like, they've been wet wiped.
They've been wet wiped. You've been around there.
Well and truly wet wiped.
The dad doesn't
I'm
have a
their
spine.
third cousin.
Every single room in that, if you look in the background, there's a nice detail. Like if you look at every single house when they're going through, every single one of them's got a giant cuck chair in the corner of the room facing in, because that is his dad.
That's a real nice night.
That is his dad.
But no, they're all a bit shit, aren't they?
Oh, they're all just
like even the mum, like she's broken alcoholic, she couldn't give a shit. She's living on a past dream, isn't she? Like, oh, when we met, and it was all so lovely.
Obviously almost left Marty to drown at some point because he's always wearing a fucking life vest.
Yeah.
So he's got an inherent fear of water, which is why in the film no water anywhere.
That's smart. He only drinks Pepsi.
Absolutely. It might be in your trivia, but I'm sorry, I've already put it.
I mean, you pointed out how haggard the mum looked, because I was like, why have they aged her massively?
She's having 3 affairs, all of which her husband knows about.
There you go.
One's with her son.
Just looking at him like, oh, bloody hell.
You do make me moist.
Oh, God.
Let's get them web wipes.
And what do you think of Doc Brown? So you see his set... You see his setup with all the clocks and the big machines and the inventions, but we don't get to meet him until they're in the car park, I don't think.
Yeah.
Did that give you massive Chitty Chitty Bang Bang vibes?
It did.
Or Wallace and Gromit?
Chitty Chitty Bang Bang.
Yeah.
I see that.
Wallace and Gromit, because I don't think I've seen Chitty Chitty Bang Bang.
Oh my lord.
Oh, no. Chitty Chitty Bang Bang.
You was
Chitty
abused as a
Chitty
child if
Bang
you've seen that film.
Bang. You heard it here first.
Well, so this will leave it. We'll leave this in, and we'll cut something else out at the end of the episode. Like, oh no, that was too far. That's not nice. Let's leave it all some Ben trauma. Anyway, you only need one clock.
Okay.
You could just have one clock, and it's like, oh yeah, I just set that one clock to be 30 minutes slow.
Yeah.
Also, Marty, get a watch.
No, he has a watch.
Yeah, he
I
does.
literally brought it up. When he
Does
was
he?
like, oh god, I'm half an hour late or whatever. And I was like, you're wearing a watch.
Yeah.
Fucking
You
idiot.
fucking idiot.
I'd like to know how they all set those to perfectly go off, because I'm guessing back in the day they'd have like 50 extra stage hands being like, right, set them all to 10 to 8.
That is exactly what happened. Yes. Yeah. Also, like, what's he going there to do?
But Mike,
Before
Yeah, he
school
walks
as
in
well,
just to
yeah.
turn everything up. He's like, I'm going to have to give myself a concussion, so I haven't got to do this bloody rehearsal.
I don't get why they're friends though, because also when he gets into school, and what's his name, the headmaster, what's that?
I can't remember his name.
But
The
he's
demon
like,
headmaster.
I warned you time and again to stay away from Doc Brown. He's
Please.
a maniac, and I'm like,
He's definitely registered.
where's the safeguarding of
Maybe I know
these
it.
children?
It's the 80s. No one cared.
No one does care.
No one cared.
So I would tell you to stop hanging out with him, but you're clearly 35, and you can make your own
I actually
decisions.
can't. You're actually older than I am. I can't control you.
I don't know about you guys. So I imagine you watched this when you was a kid, right?
Yeah.
I always thought he was really old in this film, like
Yeah.
maybe 60, 70 years of age.
Yeah,
How
yeah.
old is he?
I reckon in this film he's like
Mid to late 30s.
Yeah,
What?
I think I'm the same age as the dog.
And boy, do you look it.
Thanks, babe. You look like the mum. You old shrew.
And not the bit when they go back in time and they fix it all. Like,
No.
you look pre-time travel
Not hot
bit.
mum.
Yeah, you look hot mum.
You're broken, mum.
Yeah, you're fucking alcoholic mum.
Wet white mum.
Yeah, wet mum.
Oh, what did you think of Marty himself as the main character, apart from being too old?
Very obvious the fact he just wants to plough his girlfriend in the back of a truck.
He does.
That
Who,
seems to be a
who
single-
doesn't?
It's good to have goals.
It's good,
doesn't?
yeah. And one day I will achieve those goals. Just to be a musician. And the guy says he's too loud or something like that. Like, you can see he's
for
got...
Battle of the Band.
Yeah.
It says it's
Well, Stacey,
too
the
loud.
judges. Like,
Does it have to go to 10? I know it can go to 10, but does it have to?
I was born in the wrong era.
no, so he's a bit of a cheeky chappy. I quite like him. It's just the thing where he hangs on to people back of people's cars when he's skating around. One person breaks harshly. he's out.
So he meets up with Doc Brown in the car park and we get the first reveal of the beloved DeLorean. So I've got to go straight to you, Ben, as a car enthusiast. What are you thinking?
Could have picked a better car.
Oh, from the 80s.
From 85.
From 85, there are other cars you could have picked. It's a really weird car. It's all stainless steel and it's not very fast and it's not very, it's a very of its time car, which probably adds to it, I guess. It's a very 80s looking car when they thought, like, that's, like, really cool.
Do you think if they used a different car, though, it would have the same impact? Or do you not think that it's part of the package?
Yeah, true.
Did DeLorean
You could have
doors open?
Yeah, no, they
At
open
the
like that.
time?
Suicide doors.
Oh, they
were
did.
called.
Excuse me?
That's what they're called, suicide doors. I think it's because some people, if they opened it too quickly, used to literally smack their head on the top of it. And so, it's like, suicide doors. As opposed to those, normal doors. Could have had a Lamborghini Countach.
Okay.
That's a cool one. That's quite a cool car. Probably too expensive.
Well, it's kind of forward thinking, this car as well, though, because just fast forwarding right to the end of the film, it becomes quite economically friendly. Huge petrol pump out the back, but you put rubbish in to make it go.
Oh, yeah. Probably massive radioactive spike, though. No one from there, no car's having kids. No, there's like Chernobyl in there.
I like the design of the car. I think it would be a bit mad if someone was actually driving one, because I only associated with the film almost like it's a prop. Like someone, it would be like if I saw someone driving the fucking Batmobile. I'm like, it's not a real car.
And I would look at that person and go, that is cool. You are a cool person.
Yeah. It's not a car, if that makes sense. It's not a real car.
Yeah.
It's a car in my head that's made for this film.
I can say in the research to this film, and I'm not making this name up, but John DeLorean.
Yeah, that's his name.
It is.
Yeah.
Not making it up. Actually wrote a letter to Robert Zemeckis saying thank you for including the DeLorean in your film.
Oh, see, they could have had a Ferrari 328. Or an
When was the Testarossa out?
Let it go, Harry.
Nope.
Okay. Oh, shit, yeah, you're completely right. It's 1984.
Wow. I was bang on the money.
Yeah.
So anyway, we meet Doc, and they, wouldn't you know, he ends up going into the 1950s.
He decides to build Libyan terrorists a nuclear weapon.
Made out of a pinball machine.
Alright, first of all, Libyan intelligence, awful. You got Lockerbie, right? Let's talk. Alright, that's fine. But
The stereotypes in this film were quite shocking, I have to say.
literally turn up with like
so bad.
Oh, it's not good.
It's not good. And also, when he first goes into his house with all the clocks and everything like that, the camera pans and you see just a whole bucket of plutonium just casually sitting there, and he's amping the fuck out of that big speaker. And yet, when they put the plutonium in the car, he's like, careful. And those hazmat suits, I think they need a second risk assessment.
Surely, if you had asked for someone to make you a nuclear bomb and you got it had Space Jam on it, surely you'd be like that.
Not in 85, Ben. You didn't get Space Jam in 85.
What would you get? A Testarossa themed one, since you love it so much. Is that what you want?
That's what I want.
All right.
But nonetheless, he drives off at 88 miles an hour, famously.
Is there a reason why it's 88 miles an hour?
Because it looks cool.
Does it? 100 miles an hour is quite cool as well.
It's unrealistic. In a suburban, high street. How's he going to get to
Have
that?
you seen the size of their parking spaces? Oh my god, you could fit anything in them.
That's true. Can you imagine trying to do 88 miles an hour around an English country road?
What, the Tesco Express?
But yeah, so he goes back to 1955. He ends up crash landing into... Don't you dare go backwards. He ends up crash landing...
I'm gonna.
Go on then.
I can't believe, at one point, he's like, oh my god, I can't believe they found me. On his gigantic van is Doc Brown Enterprise. And he's like, I just don't know how they did it.
Okay, well, hold on to your socks. He goes back to 1955 and he crash lands into a barn and he has to survive in 1955. What do you think you guys would have done if you crash landed into 1955?
Invested in Apple.
Oh, that's fair, yeah.
In
That's not for another, like...
Right, I know what you're about to say. Brain didn't come out till the same time as the Testarossa came out.
I would have invested in Ferrari Testarossa.
I'd have immediately found my grandmother. I'd be like, nice!
Yeah, so what an introduction to his dad peeping at his mum through a window.
In the middle of the day, I might add.
Yeah, he's rubbish.
Yeah, that's not how you peep.
Yeah.
Speaking from experience.
No, leave it there.
I haven't been caught yet.
Even though Harry is in prison, the episodes are still doing incredibly.
Nathan has stepped in, and the podcast has gone from
Somehow, even though we've got Nathan, a convicted felon, where the podcast has never been better.
Yeah, so he meets his mum, he meets his dad as well in the diner, and he ends up in his mum's bedroom and she thinks his name is Calvin Klein. Do we think it's a bit questionable that she undressed him whilst unconscious?
Yeah, very questionable. No, like, people in this are weird. The 50s was a weird time.
Harmless. I like the fact that the thing that was weird in that was that he was wearing purple pants. Nothing else about that was weird.
Yeah.
Because that's completely normal. My dad knocked you over, I pulled your pants down.
Thank God it was, I mean, to be fair, like, if I had been hit by the car and then someone asked me, like, oh, your name was on your underwear, Georgia Asda.
Mark. It's good job that he knows who she is, because if he had not found that information out first, that definitely would have happened.
Oh, yeah.
She's a pervert.
So he shakes off his mum groping him, and then he realises that he has stopped his mum and his dad from getting together, and thus he has jeopardized his very being because he has that picture of his sister and his brother and him, and they start to fade. So he's given himself an existential crisis. Because you see, the thing about a time travel film is that when you go back in time and you create a new universe, you're going off on a completely different universe. Let me draw you a diagram. Okay. You go off on a different universe, so it's not the same universe that you came back from. And oh no, I've gone blind.
I've gone cross-eyed again.
Now we have a second story running where he has to get his parents back together.
So he meets Doc in this timeline as well. In the past,
yes,
he meets him. Looks no different.
Doc Brown is living in a much better house, isn't he?
Well, that's before he burnt it down.
That's before he could try to piss off the Libyans and keep selling pinball nuclear weapons.
That's fair.
Goes to school.
And Doc Brown goes with him and no one questions it. He's just hanging out there.
Nobody questions Marty going there. He doesn't go to that school.
That's true.
Oh yeah, he doesn't, does he?
That's true.
It was just a different time.
There's probably why a lot of people went missing in these times, because you were just allowed to walk into anywhere, take whatever you wanted and leave again.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah. As long as you're a white person, I'm sure it was fine.
Yeah, that comes up a couple of times.
Does it? Oh God, does it?
Well, so when he meets his dad, he's at the cafe, diner.
Yes.
And, you know, when he's like, oh, I've got dreams and ambitions. I could be. He's like, the mayor. And he's like, yeah, the mayor. And the manager's like, huh, a coloured mayor? I don't think so. I was like, oh, that wouldn't fly now. That wouldn't Marty McFly.
Oh, don't let us say that one. That's good podcasting.
He has trouble getting his mum and his dad back together. She's not really that interested in his dad whatsoever. And
he's quite happy to wake up a tree.
And his dad's not interested until he makes him shit his pants by pretending to be an alien visiting him. And
he pretends to be Darth Vader.
He does.
That film that famously hadn't come out at that point.
Is Darth Vader from the planet Vulcan?
Yes.
Right? He mixes the two.
That is a good bit.
And then suddenly his dad's like, yeah. So an alien told me to, so I've got to get back with her. And he's like, well, maybe don't say that. Maybe don't say that.
Also, it never comes up. Oh wait, no, it does come up again. Never mind.
Does it?
Yeah. So,
so
at the end, obviously, the story he writes is that.
Yeah.
Even though at that point, what was it, 1985?
Yeah.
So at that point, his dad would have released a book, best-selling author would have released a book about a character called Darth Vader from the planet Vulcan. And everyone would be like, you've literally just copied two very big IPs at the moment. You're not a very good writer.
Yeah.
He's like, no, I really did see this.
I mean, there's a very serious undercurrent of this film, which is plagiarism, which we're going to get to at the end of the film.
Oh, are we?
Oh, we are. So Marty gets this big idea where he's going to corner his mum and do inappropriate things to her in a car. It was his idea, though.
To be fair, though, she's pretty hot.
Yeah.
He does say that.
Incest, a game the whole family can play.
Damn right.
And his dad's going to interrupt and be the hero, and then she's going to swoon for him at the end.
Yes.
Is that how you would have done it?
That's a good plan.
It's not a bad idea.
Biff and the boys. I can get behind all of that they're all like, they're scallywags and, they're a bit rude boys before their time. $300 to clean his car back in 1950. Holy fuck.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
So him and Doc Brown obviously are trying to get back to 1985. Or not both.
He's trying to get him back to 1985, and he went, I've got some Libyans I can contact. But Doc, I hate to tell you this. This doesn't go well the first time.
So they figure out that the lightning is striking the clock tower at precisely midnight on
the day.
A day. God, you'd be fucked if you
in November.
Date, couldn't you?
So he's rigged a big contraption to attach to the car, which will give the car the juice to go back to 1985.
Yeah, because he specifically says you need 1.21 gigawatts.
Yeah. Doc Brown is labelled a maniac, and he's quite poor and his house burnt down because he's always spending his money on these contraptions, I'm assuming. And yet he's got a personalised number plate.
And also has enough money to bribe the police.
Oh, you were so angry about that, weren't you?
Yeah. Did you see that bit?
Oh, yeah, he just literally hands him...
He's like, got a licence for that? And he's like, sure do.
And Marty tries to tell him what happens to him. Do we like or dislike this?
Right, I was going to ask this question.
Mm-hmm.
If someone came from the future... I would 100% want to know what happens.
You'd have to, wouldn't you?
Yeah, because I'm like, well, I'm clearly still alive because you're talking about me still. You know who I am.
Yeah, but then if you knew what's going to happen to you in the future, then you might make a decision that's like...
No, because it's already been written. It's already been...
I've gone blind! But But whilst Doc Brown is setting up his contraption, Marty goes to the dance, which we've already kind of covered.
What's it called? Under the Sea Dance?
Under the Sea Dance,
Is it called the Under the Sea Dance?
I think it is, yeah. Cool. And he gets his parents back together and he sees his picture and they're all fading in. And of course he plays them Johnny Be Good, Chuck Berry.
Had that come out?
No, and so this is the undercurrent of plagiarism in this film, because then Chuck Berry is on the phone and his cousin's like, Chuck, you've got to hear this song. Yeah. But then, like, because this has now created a new universe in the time travel continuum, that's right, stick with me, Chuck Berry then literally steals this song as his own, I presume.
Yeah, but he steals his own song.
He steals his own song, but not knowing it was his own song. And oh my God, I've gone blind.
I can't believe you're skimming over when Marty gets chucked in the boot and he gets freed by the gang.
Oh, he does.
And literally, Biff and the boys, they call him a bunch of spooks.
They do.
Which I cannot get over.
Yeah.
What rating is this film?
PG.
PG.
Different time.
Yeah.
It probably wasn't PG. I'm making that up.
No, you heard it here first.
Okay.
It's PG.
What we say is gospel here.
Yep. And then, what is it he says to him? We don't want to mess with was it reefer?
Oh, yeah. It's like, Jesus, mate.
I did not expect it.
No.
It's quite apart from the incest and the racism, quite a family-friendly film.
Yeah, different time.
It is a PG, I can confirm.
Oh, my Lord.
It's a PG.
Yeah. So they do it, they manage to just scrape the lightning. Does he get electrocuted? Because he's kind of hanging on to one cord and then the other cord, and he's
his heart stops. The Libyans!
Yeah, never mind what happens to you in 1985.
So yeah, like, he just about... all happens just in time.
Just in time. Just in the nick of time. That's right. And they get to go back to 1985, and there's a very small clue which Harry picked up on.
Can I guess what it is? Because I think I know it. Oh.
There's a very small clue that things have changed. Is that what you're thinking?
Yeah, I think I know which one.
Go on.
Is it the sign?
Yeah. One.
Yeah.
Lone Pine Mall.
That's it, yeah.
Twin Pines.
Scarecrow Murder driveway.
Incest Road.
He just about gets there as Doc Brown's being shot down, but he did read the note and he has got a bulletproof vest.
Yeah.
Thank God he didn't get shot in the face.
And then he gets to go home to his family, and things are different. What do we think about the ending? What do we think about the family now?
Biff somehow looks like he's got jaundice. His dad seems like a bit of a dick.
Yeah?
It's just like, oh yeah, I put a last coat of wax on. Oh, Biff, don't con me now. It's just like, you pay him minimum wage, I imagine. But Biff does seem like quite a nice guy.
Yeah, we get a Biff redemption arc in the second film. Yeah, I agree with Ben. Dad's a bit of a dick. Mum, she's
fine.
Now living a good life. She's
seems like living her best life.
Because that's how you know people are happy.
That's how you know you've got value.
It's represented really well. Mm-hmm. The brother, he now wears a suit. Mm-hmm. He's a big businessman. I love the fact it's like, oh, he's a wrong and he works for McDonald's, whatever. You can still be a good person to work at McDonald's.
No.
The sister, she's now a hoe. She's like, I've got so many boyfriends.
But she's working very hard at it.
She's good. So
everyone's doing better because of his intervention. The whole family's doing much better.
And he has a better car than the family car.
Yeah, he does.
So good.
It's
a Testarossa.
I just question the fact that George McFly is the ultimate nerd, right, at the beginning of the film.
Yeah.
And then they try and make him cool. And I just feel like you don't need to improve upon nerds.
He's got very big dad vibes in this.
He does
in
have
the
big
future.
dad
It's like daddy's trying to be cool.
And then Doc Brown comes crashing in with his new eco car that I assume is made by Tesla.
It's radioactive.
And with his cool clothes. And he says, we've got to go back to the future, Marty. Which is the name of the film, guys. That's the name of the film.
And he wants to go to the year 2010, which is disgusting because that was 15 years ago.
Okay, so on that note then, what did we think of this film? Do we give it an approval? What are your closing thoughts, Ben?
I think it's good for its time. I think it's nice that it's never been remade. However, it has got some problems with it that I just don't think it can be the classic that everyone says it is nowadays. So with that, I can't give it an approval.
Are you joking?
I just can't.
Harry, what are your thoughts?
Oh, it was a fantastic score. Such as I assumed it was Sir Anthony John Gale Williams.
Yeah.
Yep. I think it's a bit problematic. Looking back at it, there's some really bad taste. There's a lot of like the incest is not great. I'm not. Come on, and the racist bits I didn't quite remember them. Like it's fun. It's fun for an older film, but genuinely, I just don't think it's the film that I remembered. So I wouldn't approve it.
Are you joking? You actually both having me on here?
Yeah, I'm having you on.
Yeah, of course we are.
I messaged Ben. I was like, would you want to wind her up?
Yep.
No.
I literally was like having a life crisis. I was like, I need to go and rethink a lot of things.
Oh, but Nosferatu was weird.
All right, what do you actually think then?
Oh, it's a great film. It's such a good... Yeah, of course I give it approval. Of course I would.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
It's good.
But not because you like it.
Gosh, I'm sweating so much.
Wet wipe strikes again.
Well, you both approved it for me, but of course I was going to prove this is my favourite
So
film.
I'd have fucking laughed if you went, no, actually, no, I hate it.
Really well acted. I really like the references to little niche things like, oh, Ronald Reagan, who's he? He's the president. No, he's not. He's an actor. And
Who's president now? Trump. Trump? The guy from The Apprentice? Don't make me laugh.
that's exactly what I
Literally
said.
the joke she made.
Really?
Would happen in a modern
Brilliant.
version. And JFK Drive, who's that? Never heard of it. Like, I like the little nuances they make of things that don't kind of
course, yeah.
translate. Absolutely loved it. Great soundtrack, as you say.
By Gail.
And really funny camera shots as well. Like, you know, when he's in the diner looking at his dad and he just is like peers over his dad's face. Fully Nan approved. So, do you want some trivia? The set that they use for the town square is called the Courthouse Square and it's used in countless other movies. I always, when we're watching something, will point it out because it's used so frequently.
Like?
Can you name those movies?
Shrek Swamp.
No.
Cool Runnings.
No.
The Brutalist.
No.
I know one of them.
28 Days Later.
No. I'll tell you the movies.
Yeah, go on.
Gremlins.
Gremlins.
Lady Gaga filmed.
Filmed a music video there.
Really?
Yeah.
What, it's still a thing?
There are so many. So I've just picked out ones that I think would be interesting for you. So Gremlins,
Okay.
Jingle All the Way,
Okay.
Saving Mr. Banks,
Okay.
and Bruce Almighty were filmed there.
Oh, really?
Oh. But I suppose, surely that's a location, though, which would take you out of the film completely, because you're like, that's the clock tower from Back to the Future.
But it does for me because I'm so, like, obviously I love that film so much. So whenever it pops up, I'm like, Back to the Future. Hill Valley. Okay, the famous clock tower climax to the movie wasn't part of the script. They were supposed to visit a nuclear test site in Nevada and a nuclear explosion would send the DeLorean back to the future, but they changed because it would have been too expensive.
Also, we've got severe radiation poisoning from that.
Yeah, you think the radiation from the DeLorean was bad.
Yeah.
It's weird to think now, but the movie could have been called something entirely different. The head of Universal at the time did not like the title Back to the Future. So he sent a memo to Zemeckis, the director, outlining his reasons and asked it to be changed to Spaceman from Pluto.
Oh my fucking good God. How do these people end up in these jobs? Seriously?
Because they're not creative people, that's why.
Producer Steven Spielberg, who you may have heard of, he had to step in and sent him a memo saying, "Thanks for your most humorous memo. We all got a big kick out of it."
Good. Oh. That's also when you know, like, you've got, like, power in Hollywood. Because
Right.
you could never say that if you were like, you actually
to the
feel like
head
your
of a
first time
studio.
director, like, oh, I had a good kick out of that. I'm not making another film.
No.
The original time machine was never going to be a car. It was just going to be a time chamber. But the writers were worried that kids may have climbed into fridges as a result. So they came up with the idea of the car because it looked cooler and for action
To
sequences.
stop kids from climbing into cars and driving them at high speeds.
Yeah. Michael J. Fox was filming Family Ties when this film was made, so the part was originally given to Eric Stoltz, if I've said that correctly.
Oh, yeah.
Eric was fired after 6 weeks because he wasn't bringing comedy to the role. He thought it was tragic that he had a different memory to that of his family. So Zemeckis had to go to Michael J. Fox and beg him to do it. So he had to film both at once, meaning he only got 3 hours sleep a night.
Jeez.
And there are actually, I watched earlier, you can get a comparison shot of him doing it and
Really?
Michael J. Fox doing it, yeah.
Is
So
there-
he did film like 6
Is there anything
weeks
about his, who plays his dad in it?
Crispin Glover coming
Is there anything
up
about
next.
him being fucking mental?
Yes, Crispin Glover plays George McFly. He is critically acclaimed for his performance in this film, but there was some friction on set between him and Zemeckis. Over the years, stories have surfaced about what went on, such as at the end of shooting, Glover questioned the ending of the film. He thought the McFly shouldn't be financially well off when Marty goes back to 1985 and said to Zemeckis, "Love should be the reward, not the money." So he was not asked to return to Back to the Future Part 2.
Good.
The character of George only appears in 2 scenes and is played by another actor. Glover sued the studio for use of his likeness. He received a settlement, but he basically ended his career in Hollywood.
Fuck. So he's done after that.
I mean, they obviously patched it up because he then was in Beowulf.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I thought you might like to know how they did the visual effect for how the DeLorean travels through time. 2 tyre tracks were laid out with gasoline. They set fire to those so the flames shoot up, and that was filmed and sped up. And then separately, they filmed a stuntman driving the DeLorean and superimposed that on top of the tyre tracks. You see some lightning bolts and puffs of smoke which were added digitally. And then they had a camera rigged to a dolly, so he could track the DeLorean, bringing the camera suddenly to a dead stop when the car vanishes. This created the impression of the flame shooting out from the car when it vanished.
Cool.
Nice. Back when you had to be a bit more creative with your special effects.
Yeah.
Oh no, 100% that would all be CGI'd now, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it would be.
Yeah.
So guys, let's bring it all the way back to 2025. So thank you. We've been Nerds Against Normality. Thanks for hanging with us. Catch all of our latest episodes every Wednesday wherever you get your podcast from. Please follow, rate, like us on social media for more exclusive content. And if you have a question or something you want us to review, please email us at nanpodcast@outlook.com.
Thanks for listening.
Yeah.
Yeah.